or both. So while I write the poll question in the audience, I need you guys to drop an emoji that represents something that you're currently trying to manifest. It can be a house, a car, maybe a ring, maybe a baby, extra money, a job, right? More knowledge, peace, whatever it is. You guys can type the emoji to let us know. And I'm gonna put this poll. Almost done. Hi, King. Oh, we just focused on the bag, y'all. Every dollar I spend comes back to me times 10. I'll continue to say it again. Every dollar I spend comes back to me times 10. And I will continue to say it again. I love paying my bills, right? I love giving money out because I know it's flowing back into me. But all that being said, I really am focused on manifesting more peace and like fluidity into my life. So I see somebody said no. Someone said no. Okay, I'm excited. Who said no? Let's see. Oh, Mia. Hi, MC. Welcome. I was excited. I was like, oh, it's going to be a little tiny bit spicy. Okay, everybody's basically on the same page. We are all actively understanding that our thoughts play a major role into our reality. Thank you guys for answering that poll. And Lola, can you please request the box? And Mia, Yana, Cuban girl, thank you. Can you guys please also request the box? Okay, I see you, Mia. I see you, Cuban girl. I'm waiting on Lola to request the box. I think that's how I make her like co-host box. Okay, and she is here. Yana. Hello, Queen.
Hi.
Welcome. Everybody, this is Theory Thursday's official co-host for whenever she's available, Lola B. If you don't, please make sure you have her faved. Hi, Cuban girl. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Mia. Hello. Thank you for being here.
Oh, is it Baddie Thursday? What?
Yana, whenever you are ready, feel free to request the box. Oh, okay. Maybe Yana doesn't understand how to request the box, guys. Hold on. It's a plus sign. Do you see the plus sign?
And then you click guest.
Okay. And click guest. Yana did just download the app to participate in the show. So you guys, yeah.
Yay.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Yana.
Hey,
Hello.
how's everybody
Hi, Queen.
doing?
Hello, hello. Okay. So we went through the poll. Thank you guys all for being here. We really are going to break it down into the questions. We're going to start with question number 1. Queen Lola will be guiding us through the questions. I'm going to keep my answers very short and sweet. I really do want to just focus more on my guest answers, and then I'll kind of dive deep into each segment that aligns with each question. Okay.
All right. To begin our first question, as usual, our poll results usually reflect the people that usually join us every Thursday. So we had a lot of people that already kind of answered this question, but we're going to start to dive into, do you believe in manifestation, and why or why not? Okay, so we're going to do are you getting into your explanation first, Rose?
No, we're going to let them answer first.
Okay, so let's do our round table, and we can go ahead and start with, we'll go with Cuban Girl, then Mia, then Yana.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cicely, but I go by that Cuban girl. Thanks for having me. I definitely believe in manifestation. I have been into self-help and, all the books, The Secret, everything since 2017. And I definitely believe in it. I've seen how things have manifested in my life. So yeah, definitely.
My answer is quite similar. I think I started my believing in manifestation journey when The Secret came out. It's when they had the book come out and then the movie. And I don't know, I watched it and it just made sense. And I was like, yes, this is true. But I wasn't raised to believe that. I was raised Catholic. I was raised that only some man in the sky does everything and we're just here. But The Secret just made sense to me. So, and I've been practicing it ever since.
How about you, Yana?
Okay, because I was seeing like a mute sign. I'm like, I don't know how to work this.
We're good, Yana. We'll guide you through. We'll keep it painless.
Thank you. But yes, I do believe in manifestation. I feel like I believe it due to like the way that I was raised. My mom was like, I was raised like religious, Christian, and my mom would always, coach us on, be careful of the things that you say. Like, don't. My mom have like tons of stories, like about the things that she spoke and how one of her great aunts that was like very spiritual would tell her not to speak those things. I'm gonna give an example, if that's okay. Just real quick. When my mom had her first child, she had 3 more. I'm the youngest. The doctor told her that she would never be able to have kids again. She had like cervical cancer. And so my mom started telling people like, I can't have no more kids. I have cancer. And when she told her great aunt that, she's like, who told you that? And she was like, the doctor. And she was like, well, that's what you tell people. You don't claim that, tell people that the doctor told you that. So my mom, switched up the way that she was telling people, like the doctor, diagnosed me, but by the grace of God, I'm healed. Power of the tongue. Went back to the doctors, they couldn't find not a trace of cancer. 3 more kids, I'm the last one. So it's like I do believe in manifestation. So yeah.
I love that story.
That's an absolutely amazing take on just tying it into speaking things and believing that what you speak actually does come into fruition. I do also believe in manifestation. I think that I always have. I just now call it something different. So probably was manifesting things in a completely different way, and then now I have like different language and different terminology to place toward the certain techniques that I use for it. Miss Rose, passing the baton back to you.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'm in agreement. I believe heavily, and my thoughts are creating my future reality in one way or the other. Manifestation. It wasn't always called manifestation. I do remember when I first started becoming more conscious with my thoughts, it was due to the term, the law of attraction. That's kind of what opened the door into me going deeper into my spirituality, actually. Yeah. So since I just answered, I will go a little bit deeper into what exactly is manifestation At its core, it's the belief that your inner world, which is your thoughts, emotions, and your energetic frequency, it all shapes your outer reality. It's rooted in ancient spiritual systems that teach us the all is mind, meaning everything begins in consciousness. The New Thought movement brought this idea into the modern world, suggesting that the mind is a powerful and creative force. These days, it's often referred to as the law of attraction, which like attracts like, but real manifestation isn't just about positive thinking, it's about alignment. One, aligning your thoughts with your beliefs, aligning your energy with your action, and aligning your self worth with what you're asking for. So it basically invites you to be honest about what you really believe that you deserve. Um, so yeah, that is that part about what exactly is manifestation.
See in the comments, somebody
Um,
said most Ring Diablo, most of us were raised with the belief of manifestation without knowing it, being told not with that attitude when we would say something negative. I definitely was raised like that. Most of us in the church can can say the same. But we like to just go ahead and welcome everybody to Theory Thursday, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a safe space where we do think differently and dive deep and question everything in a fun and curious way. We have already begun tonight to dive into our topic, which is manifestation. And it's basically how your thoughts and your energy shape your reality. We already started with our first question about if you believed in manifestation, why or why not, and kind of talked about exactly what is manifestation, about co-creating and tuning into the power that you already have. So the 5 questions have already been posted. We're going to go ahead and move to question 2. Feel free to make sure you communicate with us in the chat as you're coming in, or have any input with what the questions are as we go through them. So the next question is, what's something that you've successfully manifested? What is something that you have successfully manifested? For those that believe in manifestation, have tried it before. Let's go in the same direction as we did last time, starting with that Cuban girl.
Wait, I need more time to think about this actually.
Pass. You absolutely can pass, and we'll come back to you. Mia, would you like to go next?
Sure. My short answer is everything. I believe that we are always manifesting and that whatever's coming into our lives is a perfect match for our frequency. My longer answer is yeah, ever since I started practicing The Secret, the law of attraction, and started learning different ways to manifest, I've tried it all and I've manifested. We're not together anymore, but it was like a very difficult thing for me to date back in my 20s. And when I was 31, I manifested a really wonderful partner. I really like intentionally worked on that. So what I did was I wrote a letter to the universe, and I wrote it as if I was writing to my friends and family that my last name had changed because that's
mm,
manifest marriage. So I wrote it as if it was as if it already had happened, and I got into the feelings of it. For those of y'all that know The Secret, and I wrote from that place. I told them how we met, um, how we got together, what he's like, what our relationship is like, and it was more about the feelings about it. Like we hit it off instantly. There was an instant chemistry. He felt like home. He was my
mm,
safe space. We go on adventures together, things like that. Not like 6'2", brown hair, brown eyes type thing. Like that's not how I manifest. I more manifest non-specifically with the feelings because the universe knows this or something better. So I feel like the universe knows better than I do. Um, and I kid you not, like months after writing that letter, I met him. And it was crazy. And I even did the whole thing where like I slept on one side of the bed. When I would be driving in my car, I would imagine I'm holding hands with my bae. I would speak as if, and yeah, that's my relationship one. And I have tons of stories for career and all of that stuff. But it works. It really does.
Absolutely. I like those examples of visualizations. That's definitely a technique that is tried and true. Yana, how about you? What's something that you have successfully manifested?
I feel like I've successfully manifested both like healthy relationships, and I wanted to say like this is like the most healthiest relationship that I've been in. And I've also successfully manifested trash relationships because like I feel like I've been manifesting it in my music. I started off as an R&B singer, and y'all know it's heartbreak, hotel songs. And a lot of the songs that I would, create like in that lane, in that genre would be like things that I've actually been through. But then there would be times where I would like push my pen. I used to be like big on one song a day would keep the writer's block away. So I would create a sad love song, something that I've never been through. But just like 2 days ago, I'm listening to old music on BandLab, for those who know. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy because when I was thinking about this heartbreak trash relationship, I didn't even go through it at that time. But later down the line, I did. And so I did have to pivot the way in which I do music now. And I feel like I manifested a totally and completely healthy, sane, loving relationship, to put it in short.
Oh, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's awesome. I won't give away exactly what that technique is because I think we're going to get to some of those later on, but I love that through the music. Kay in the comments says, my first time manifesting was in elementary when I wanted to win a stuffed animal from a raffle. I thought about winning all day and boom. That is awesome because it can really be that simple.
Yes.
That Cuban girl, are you ready to talk
Yeah,
about? Okay.
so I was thinking about this because I know for a fact I've manifested many things before, but I was like, oh my gosh, it took me a second. And then I realized that actually all the times that I've manifested things have been things that, okay, I've done the whole writing letters and everything, but those haven't manifested. The ones I've manifested have been the ones where like I literally think something that I really desire and I quickly, I feel good about it and let it go. But it's something that it's been things that like I haven't really put a lot of emphasis on, if it makes sense. So for example, this was like the most recent one, I would say. I went out and I got a mega ticket, like a lottery ticket. And somehow, it happened in like 2 minutes. Like I got the ticket, and when I got the ticket, I just had this feeling like, oh, this ticket's gonna win some money. And I just really like I felt it. Like I went home and I just knew it would. And then I put it away and I totally forgot about it, whatever. Couple days went by and I checked it and it had $352. And so,
Wow.
but it's like I feel like the things I've manifested the most have been like that, like really quickly, really, really wanted, but then I just forget them and I'm not even trying to manifest them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that as well. And we made it back around to Bros.
Yeah, I love that, guys. Something that I've successfully manifested. I actually brought something. Okay, so I would say that I've been like actively working on manifesting things off and on. It's kind of like seasonal. Some seasons I'm way more intentional. Some seasons I kind of let it go. This was in my season when I lived in San Diego. I felt inspired from Jim Carrey, and I wrote myself a check, right? And I sat with the emotion, and I'm gonna show you guys the first check. The first check, right? And then I kept a dollar bill with it and a winning scratch off. I kept it with it. I kid you guys not, the 10K that the check was written for, I got that in cash, like biggest lump sum of money I had ever got, like in one sitting. So this became like magic paper. Like I was just learning about the law of like the law of attraction and things like that. So then I did another one, and I did that one in Sharpie because I was like, I want this one to be like unexpected. So let me tell you what I wrote. All I said is in an unexpected way, $5,000 deposited to me or my business, High Royalty, in a safe and healthy way for financial abundance, And that one was rapid, like rapid. And it's been other things, like I've manifested a free car, and this was in San Diego. And then I manifested that so hard, I had 2 opportunities for a free car, all at one time.
Wow.
Girl's gonna have us writing checks, okay, guys? That's what we're here for. Like, let's talk about it for real.
I love
So, Lola, did you share about what you manifested?
I did not. But I think if I really quick, just intentionally, because I think we've others have mentioned some of the unintentional manifesting or the quick ones. I think recently, probably for like the past 5 to 6 years, pretty much everything, my current day job, um, my house, my car, like I pretty much just started really believing about shaping reality and heavy on changing things that I didn't like, because obviously when I was doing things unintentionally or unaware, my life, I just kind of accepted life for what it was. So it was a lot of changing. Now I'm moving into the season of purposely creating. Instead of just having to change everything, I'm making sure to like manifest the things that I actually want to see. So I've been practicing it, and I've successfully manifested pretty much everything. And even in that 5 to 6 years, I lost and had to like do the process all over again. So I'm glad that I kind of came into some of like the low times already with that knowledge of knowing how to, because I pretty much, you know, was able to start all over, but not at a basis of not knowing like how to go after exactly what I wanted. So
How did you do it? Tell me.
My entire life.
I know. What did you do, girl?
I think I definitely want to, I think it'll answer some of the questions we get into later about the actual methods of it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now how does it actually work? We're going to take it from a spiritual stance and from a scientifical stance. Spiritually speaking, manifestation is the art of co-creation. You're not just randomly wishing for things, you're aligning yourself with a higher purpose, higher intelligence. Whether you call it universe, God, source, or your higher self, it's about getting into true alignment and understanding that I was created to create. Okay, so this perspective says that when your desires are clear and your energy is aligned, you're no longer resisting what's meant for you. You become a vibrational match for what you want. That means trusting divine timing, staying open to signs and synchronicities, and taking inspired action. Okay, so scientifically, there's also something going on in the brain also. Your reticular activating system, otherwise known as the RAS, it's a network of neurons in our brain stems that act like a filter. It decides what information makes it into your conscious awareness based on what your mind deems important. So when you start focusing on a specific goal, your brain starts highlighting things in your environment that supports that goal. Start thinking about buying a red car, suddenly we see red cars everywhere. Start believing you're worthy of better opportunities. Opportunities come a-knocking. Okay, so belief literally shapes our perception. And when your beliefs change, so do your behaviors. You take more confident risks, you communicate differently, you show up with energy that attracts people and possibilities. In other words, manifestation isn't just about thinking it into existence. It's about training your mind, aligning your emotions, and responding to the world as if your vision is already true, because that shifts your choices, habits, and your frequency. Welcome everyone that's came.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love how it's just reminding us how everything is interconnected, the natural, the spiritual, mathematics, science, everything. That's a great explanation for how it works. Welcome everybody though that has joined to Theory Thursday. Every Thursday we come together to do this at 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a safe space where we think differently, we dive deep, and we question everything in a fun and curious way. Tonight, we are diving into manifestation, how your thoughts and energy help shape your reality. It's about co-creating and tuning into the power that you already have. We have sent the 5 questions out before the show, so we are now diving into question 3. And now we're going to get into the methods. So the question is, do you have one personal method that works for you? We've kind of already been on the same page. We all believe in manifestation. We talked about something successful that we manifested. Now we want to talk about the how. What personal method works for you? Let's go around a little bit different. And I want to start with Yana.
Unless you
I'm
manifest
sorry, I got
that
cut off guard.
relationship, girl.
Oh yes. Well, I did like take some notes. So I did have like a specific method that I did want to talk about that I had tried that I've never tried before, but it, ended up working for me. Which is the 555 method. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but I've heard about the 555 and I think the 365. But I tried the 555, and I'm going to be honest. Towards day 4, because I'm a cook, I work with my hands. It was really hard. So by day 4, I didn't finish completely, and by day 5, I had to give myself some grace. But that following week, what I was trying to manifest actually came into fruition. And I was like so shook it because I kind of like didn't have any attachments to the outcome because I know that I wasn't really dedicated to the whole process. But I guess since I still had like, pure intention, I was, having the emotion, sitting with the thought, visualizing, as I was writing when I was dedicated, it was just a beautiful thing to like actually like, know that this type of technique actually works for me because I can agree with, I believe, Cuban Girl when she said basically like everything, her whole life, and it's like effortlessly. I can also I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. I can also align with that as well. So to be able to try a method that I never tried before and it actually was successful was beautiful. And that was money, basically. I had one employee of the month and I won a check, and I was not expecting it, So that was beautiful.
All right. And Mia, do you have a personal method that works for you?
I use them all and they all work. So the method that I would like to bring in today for this question is I use astrology and human design to help me out, right? So get my energy right. I want to work with the planets too. You know what I'm saying? So, so I look at transits. I look to see what energies could work in my favor specifically for my chart. I also work with that with my clients, and then also with human design. I make sure that because it's all about alignment, right? So when I am in alignment with myself, then I can be in alignment with the universe, and I can move in a way that will place me at the right place at the right time. And so I use my human design for that a lot. I notice that whenever I am not feeling it, I'm somewhere out of alignment with my human design. So I'll bring those two to the table. And I will try the 555. I've actually never tried that. So
It's a lot. Just be ready. Like the writing.
I
Well, I
don't,
guess it
so
depends
for
on
those
how
of
long
y'all,
you're.
yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, it's writing your desire down 55 times a day for 5 consecutive days.
Mhm.
And
55
my
times is
affirmation
a lot.
my affirmation was about 3 sentences, so just imagine that. So I need to shorten it up.
Kid says I'm not
All right.
anything like that.
So far we
I'm
got
not locked in like that. I've done the 555 method.
yeah, so far we've mentioned 555 method. We've got some astrology thrown in there. What personal method works for you, Cuban Girl? Do you have one personal method that you like to use for manifestation?
Look, I've tried the writing the letter to my future husband. I must not believe in it that much because I'm still waiting for him. But I will say though, it's because I'm more focused like in career than like financial abundance than that. But I will say the thing that really works for me are honestly affirmations. There's been a lot of things where I know that I have a lot of limiting beliefs in certain areas, and I will say to myself, no, but you are. And I would like repeat it to myself, no, but you are wealthy. No, but you are this. And I have a weekend job where like I make tips, and I've used that for that. And every time I do, I make more money. And recently I also used that method with dates, because I wanted to meet more, I guess, high value men. And I have met like more amazing men that I have met in the past. So it is working. I feel like I need to look up other methods and try new things. But yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully you can
Calling
learn
the
a
one
different
girl.
method tonight that you can use. That's part of what this is all about. I guess I can answer before I pass it to Rose about the personal method. Rose and Yana know that I teach manifestations, and so it's a little bit similar to kind of using multiple methods. Personally, I do a lot of scripting, and another category would be, I guess it would be affirmations, turning the goal into an intention, which is going to be personal and present tense. So like if I said, instead of saying, or the goal would be starting with, I want a red car that has less than 150,000 miles on it, because I really believe in being very specific. Then I would convert that into the intention of, and be able to stay and use with the other methods, which would be the 369 or the 5x55, depending, because I've used 369 the most. But then I would turn that and say, I enjoy when I get to travel in my red car with, you know what I'm saying? I completely take what the goal was and I turn it into an intention. And then I'm able to either say that through prayer and meditation or write that through the different methods. So I think I use a combination. What I will say is that I stopped using vision boards only because even though visualization is a very great method, I realized that wasn't something I struggled with. So I started using the methods, the ones that it would help me to be more disciplined with sticking to it. And so writing, prompting, scripting. I forget what the other terminology is when spirit is just kind of talking to you and you're just writing it down. Sometimes that's where the alignment comes into play. I like what Mia said, like, I may not, like, the universe knows better, and I put that trust into, the gods and deities that I serve. So it's like, I'll go through meditation first just to see if anything needs to be deposited so I can be in alignment with what's already mine, and then kind of go through the other methods. So I've used a combination of all as well. And I think that they all pretty much have worked for me. Sometimes I'll just throw myself for a loop and use something different just to see. But I also utilize astrology. I go by the moon cycles. And so I believe the best time to take the goals into new intentions is the new moon. And so that's
Which was yesterday, by the way, guys. So feel free to do your new moon rituals.
At least a couple days from the new moon, when the energy starts to come down some. But definitely tomorrow. Absolutely. Rose, how about you? What's your one personal method that works for your manifestation?
I appreciate you all for sharing your personal methods. Same here, really. I feel like for me, a lot of things are seasonal. So it's in one season or another, I've used one of these methods. Some seasons I'm using more methods. I've done the vision boards, I've done the scripting, I've done the affirmations, the 369 method, the 5-5-55 method, meditation and visualization. I do want to piggyback a few things. I'm gonna start with Yana. because Yana, you mentioned about your music and how you was listening to past songs, and back then you was just saying it, right? But then you look back and then you realize like you spoke it into existence for yourself subconsciously. I've had a lot of those moments, right, where I look back and I'm like, oh, I can clearly see how I attracted that into my life. Also with visualization, I want to piggyback off of you, Lola, when you said that you don't use vision boards. I used to be really big with vision boards. Then I feel like it's like a muscle, right? Now, like my visions are so clear that it's like, okay, let me focus my intentions in a different area when it comes to resources, right? But what I do want to say pertaining to affirmations before I get into the techniques more, is some sacred universal affirmations. I know a lot of us are familiar with I am, getting into the alignment of present tense, turning our goals into those intentions, right? And I am is connected to our root chakra. I don't even really need to necessarily go into the chakras, but I will, because I feel like it's all aligned. And the more information I can give, it'll process to somebody. If it processes to one person, then that's good. So I am is connected to our root chakra. We use I feel loved. So I am prosperous. I feel loved, sacral. I do things out of the kindness of my heart, our solar plexus. I love to love. That's my heart speaking. I speak my truth. That's my throat. I see a better tomorrow. I'm using my third eye. I know that I can. That's our crown chakra. So there's different terminologies that we can use to help us get more into that affirming state. It's more than just the I am. Third eye is satanic is crazy. So I think we should do a whole Theory Thursday based on third eye. Let's do it.
We should. Thanks for throwing that
Okay,
out
guys.
there. Just go ahead and add anything in the comments. We're still paying attention. We're throwing them in the conversation.
Yeah, we see you in the comments. We do.
I want to say, ladies, real quick, you guys were talking about vision boards. I want to like show you, because I have mine. I have the one from last year and I have this year's right there.
Oh,
So, we going bigger this year, y'all. We going bigger.
I know, right?
we got more we want to accomplish. We got more we are going to accomplish. I love that. So I will.
For everybody that has just joined us, and everybody that is already here, thanks for being here. Welcome to Theory Thursday. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come together in this safe space, thinking differently, diving deep, and questioning everything in a fun and curious way. Tonight, we have been talking about manifestation, how your thoughts and energy help to shape your reality. It's about co-creating and tuning into the power that you already have. So we were finishing out talking about our question about the personal method that works. And Rose was kind of guiding us through her response as well as those methods.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Lola. I will just run through those manifestation techniques really quick. I did write down 5. Scripting, and this can be a personal prompt that you guys can do on your own, or if you have a pen and paper handy, you can do now. What is scripting? It's basically writing something out as if your desired reality has already happened. So for example, we would say, I'm so grateful I just got the email confirming my remote job offer. The schedule is perfect for my family and I feel so aligned and supported. I wake up excited and at peace. I love that. Why it works. It rewires your brain to believe it's possible, activating the feeling and clarity of your desire. We also have vision boards. It's basically a collage of images, words, and symbols, which represents your goals. Why it works. Visual input reinforces focus and motivation, helping your brain and energy to align with what you want. We also have affirmations. It's repeating empowering statements that support your goals and worth. I am worthy of love and abundance. Opportunities flow to me with ease. Why it works. Daily repetition challenges limiting beliefs and strengthens new thought patterns. We also have the 3-6-9 pattern and the 5-by-55 method. What are they? It's basically structured journaling techniques to help anchor your intentions. So with the 3-6-9 method, you will write your affirmations 3 times in the morning, 6 times midday, and 9 times at night. For the 5-by-55 method, you write that same intention. You do it 55 times a day for 5 days straight. Why they work. These methods use repetition and focus to reprogram your subconscious mind. The last technique I included is meditation and visualization. It's basically using stillness and mental imagery to embody your goals. During meditation, you can visualize yourself already living in your dream apartment, feeling the joy, the space, the sunlight, the freedom. Why it works. Your brain doesn't distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones. So basically, your brain can't tell what's real and what's fake. If it's in, oh, let me let Cicely back in. Sorry, guys. If it's in your brain is going to take it and run with it. If you tell yourself that you're not worthy, that's what's going to repeat itself. If you tell yourself you are worthy, that's what's going to repeat itself. If you visualize yourself having an abundance of money, your brain and your body is in alignment with a lot of money. But if you're sitting and you're feeding the negativity, right? We all have those roots. The weeds. We all have the weeds. We just have to pull them out. Don't sit with them. Don't just pull them out and replace it. You replace any negative thought with a positive affirmation in your brain. Sorry guys, I kind of stumbled my words there. Okay, so that's the 5th technique. And we are going to move into the first part of the game. Okay, Lola?
Okay.
We have a game.
Yes, we do have a game.
We have a surprise game. Yay.
Oh, wait. Before we get into the first part of the game, there's that question right there. We got to do that question first. Do that question, and then halfway in between, we'll ask the last question.
Okay.
Okay, yes. So have you ever manifested something and regretted it is the next question. Have you ever manifested something and regretted it? I'll go first and then we'll go around. That Cuban girl, Yana and Mia. Not intentionally, no. I've never intentionally manifested anything and regretted it. I think the only disappointment I ever faced was not taking a minute to realize I wasn't in alignment when I really wanted something and it wasn't the time for it. And then I just couldn't understand why, because I had used all the methods and it didn't work the way that everything else had. But everything that I have intentionally manifested has been usually more than, especially the way that it happened. It was more abundant than I could have imagined. That's my answer. That Cuban girl, have you ever manifested anything that was like, oh my gosh, this ain't it?
I don't think so. I don't think intentionally, no. I mean, there's been circumstances where, but I don't know if it's manifestation per se, where I have had a intuition of like, don't think that, and then it happens, right? But like, I don't think that's really, is that manifestation?
You talking about just in the thought space?
Yeah, kind of like an intuitive feeling, like a premonition type thing of something that might happen, and then it actually happens. And I'm just like, oh shoot.
It could be both. I think it depends on like if you acknowledge if you're someone that practices having the gift of knowing, then it could have been just something that was deposited into your thought space that was already going to happen. But as far as like manifestation does start with thought. So it's thought first, universe, and then inspired action. So it is starting up here regardless of if it's something that you have to bring by the vocalization and the visualization, or something that's art that you're just aligning yourself with that's going to happen, in later down the timeline. So it really depends. They're saying a lot. Somebody said my child's mother. I don't know if that's good or bad. An ex manifested and regretted it. How about you, Yana? Have you ever manifested something and regretted it?
Well, I guess in that the song that I had, wrote of the trash relationship, I definitely regretted that. But am I sounding muffled? I hear an echo.
It's clear now.
It's clear. Okay. Sorry, I have a fan on. Should I turn it off?
No, 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 you're good.
Okay. Thank you. But I want to say I manifested a career and regretted it. I always felt like my purpose in life is to help people. And, given like the family that I was born into and the circumstances, basically, I really didn't have no one. And so I vowed to be the person that I needed growing up, because we all know that there is no heroes. And I'm not trying to be a hero, but sometimes we need an ear, we need a shoulder, we need to be seen. And so I wanted to be that person for anybody who I could, And with that being said, I felt like the medical field would align perfectly because I feel like this is my passion, this is my calling. I feel full when I do it. I don't do it grudgingly. I don't have to tell everybody. I don't really need to get paid for it. Like I just do it out of the kindness of my heart. So I found a school, was an alignment, did everything that I needed to do, took the test, passed the test. Got accepted into the school. It was like a trade school. So what I would be learning in 2 years, I actually learned it in 6 months. Took the course, did theory, passed the state exam. I was in that field for no longer than a week before I realized that I had to quit. And I felt so bad because because I did all that hard work, and it kind of sucks to have to do all that hard work, for the things that we feel that we want, only to learn that it's not necessarily the way that we want it. So I still show up to be able to like help people, to be there, to be the person that I needed, but just not in the medical field. It just took so much from me. And like, I'm an empath. So like, I'm trying to do my job, but I'm breaking down crying because I'm feeling for these people, like, so in a sense, I did regret it, but I do appreciate the experience because I did learn a lot.
Absolutely. I think that ties into Kira's asking some great questions in the chat. Said, do we believe that things that come to us and we later then regret are still a part of the manifestation? I think a little bit of the telling of the last of what you said kind of plays into that. And we talked about that on a different theory Thursday before, just about where the divide was between predestined or predisposed. And as we're talking about speaking things, I think we're all in agreement that we know that we can shape the reality. So everything that happens is a part of it, regardless if it's something like I said that I readily accepted. Later on, I might have realized, okay, that because I believe all things work together, no matter what, because I don't believe in coincidence. How about you, Mia? Anything you ever manifested and then regretted it?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I would say no. I was literally going to say that, Kira. I was like, I have no regrets, not a single letter. That's
I love that
um,
movie.
that's literally one of my favorite movies. I could watch it a million times and it'll be like the first time.
Not
But
one.
yeah, no regrets, not even a single letter. Maybe in the moment, when I'm being a human and wallowing in my own self pity, I'm like, oh, why did I manifest that? But I've learned so many tough lessons, and I believe that being a human, being a spiritual being in a human existence is about experiencing. So I don't like to have regrets. I always kind of find a way to be like, no, but without that, I wouldn't be who I am. And then I think even larger scale, zooming out even more, it's like, maybe that was part of the manifestation because that helped me to learn the lesson that I needed to learn to be who I needed to be so that I could then get it in the divine timing, which was when it was really supposed to happen.
Okay.
So, you know, no regret.
Absolutely. It's the gratitude. I believe that is exactly how gratitude works, which is also a big part of manifestation. Just being grateful and content where you already are, even though you're actively pursuing, more in the abundance, area. I think that plays a lot into it. Back to you, Rose. Anything? I think everybody's saying they haven't, but anything that you ever manifested that you just wasn't quite rocking with?
Yeah, definitely. Relationship, certain circumstances between like friends, I kind of feel like I entertained the negative thoughts that I had about them and the relationship went in a negative direction, right? Whether it was before I knew about like how I could consciously, I guess, like manipulate my reality because, sometimes you think things gonna work out and so you wanna have the best intentions, but sometimes it could be one thought that get in your head. It's like a bad little seed and then it sprouts and then you realize like, okay, that one thought is really where stuff started slipping. But with all that being said, I do believe that it all helped shape me. So whether it was certain things that I did end up saying, okay, I wish it wouldn't have worked out that way, I do always still try to find the positivity within it. But I definitely feel like I have a few regrets now that I'm more conscious. But we are going to get into the game.
Are we ready?
More than one letter. Yes. Okay, I guess I'll break down how the game is going to go.
Go ahead.
It's a little bit of delay. Okay, I'll break down how the game is going to go. Lola, you'll handle the first 5. We'll ask that last question, and then I'll handle the last 5 and lead us out of here. So this game is called Manifest This or That. I would, if you can, it's for the comments. Everybody in the comments, feel free to take part. We will ask a question and everyone will choose by typing either A or B. Very simple. Okay. So the looking eyes, guys, the lurker, that I'm just saying, that's me. That's how I will be answering the game, okay, in the chat.
All right, are we ready? Manifest this or that. Again, remember the choices are just going to be A and B. And so the first one is 10,000 in cash. That's A. Or B, a healthy, lasting relationship. Which one would change your life right now? A, 10,000 in cash, or B, a healthy, lasting relationship? A, B, B, B. I'm kind of relieved that people are saying B more than A. A.
Oh wait, B.
Bust your bubble. I'm telling you guys, I can teach you a few ways to get those 10Ks in lump sums. So
money is so easy. Money is so easy. We're definitely going to double back on that.
Lasting relationship.
Lasting, right. Nothing I'm so tired of.
They just want the down payment for the car. They don't want the...
She said, I can cry in my kids.
It definitely depends on how you handle both and what you do with them. Number 2, A, the ability to travel anywhere for free, or B, a dream home in your current city. Would you choose those routes or freedom? A, the ability to travel anywhere for free, or B, a dream home in your current city.
Catch flights, not feelings. Catch flights, not feelings.
Yes.
Where we going, Faye? Where we going?
Everywhere, right? At that point, we got some travelers
Oh,
in
see, that's a good point.
I live in LA,
That's a good point.
so free home in LA, I'll take that.
I live in LA too. It's not worth it.
All right, moving right along. Number 3, what are we going to be really striving for? A, inner peace and mental clarity, or B, a 6-figure career? Inner peace and mental clarity is A, or B, a 6-figure career? What are you going to be striving for?
Because the money is here. The money is here. 6 figures don't need to, it doesn't need to come from one career. You can have an abundance of passive
In this
income.
economy, 6 figures ain't nothing. So I'm going with
I know.
I like how you said that.
See, my thought process with this is if you have inner peace and mental clarity, you can create anything you want.
Absolutely.
You know that
Exactly.
everything I want wants me even more.
Absolutely. Okay, moving right along. What does legacy mean to you out of these two? A family of your own is A, or B, a complete healing of generational trauma? A, a family of your own, or B, a complete healing of generational trauma? B is a good one. I already have a family.
Are we healing?
Right.
Are we healing ancestors and descendants? Is that a complete healing?
Generational,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I believe that's what it means, forward and back.
Ancestors and descendants. All right, then.
Or all directions.
We heal the past, the present, and the future. We all heal. We gon' be all right.
Good answers, guys. All right, so then number 5, quick win or the long game? Which one were you going to choose? A viral moment that blows up your platform, or B, steady, quiet growth that lasts for years? A viral moment that blows up your platform, or steady, quiet growth that lasts for years?
B, final answer, period.
I love that. Yes, I love the answers. Okay. Thank you guys for answering in the chat. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Theory Thursday. For those of you that are just joining us, we do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a safe space where we think differently, we dive deep, and we question everything in a fun and curious way. Tonight, we're diving into manifestation. We have been covering a few questions. We do have one more question to go after we finish the next part of our game. So we'll finish the next 5 questions, and then Lola will lead us off with the last question of the night. So we're going back to A and B in the chats. Would you rather, okay, so could you thrive without the one? Would you rather your soulmate, A, or B, your dream life without your soulmate?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Without my soulmate forever?
Is this a forever question?
So your soulmate,
or you have your dream
Everybody
life
say, hey.
without them. Yes.
I'm choosing my
No.
But I can live in a cardboard box.
I don't know. Honestly, no.
I'm gonna do A, because if I do A, I'll get the soulmate, and then there's no contingency that I'm not gonna get my dream life. So let's do soulmate.
Because when I think about it, okay, what if I end up getting my soulmate? I feel like I have a lot of soulmates, but what if I end up being with one of my soulmates, but our life is just living hell, right?
That's not what
That's what-
listen, that's not what the question was though. The question was, you know what the question was? So, you know, you gotta
Your
think
soulmate.
strategically.
Or your dream life without them.
I'm with you, Cicely. I'm with you, girl.
She said, don't go. Okay, don't go deep into it. But I'm gonna say B.
We love a little loophole. We love. The universe is full of loopholes. Okay.
You gotta be on your toes for real. Okay, so do you value forward momentum or a second shot? Would you prefer A, a dream job offered next week, or B, a chance to relive one past moment with the wisdom that you have right now?
The all day.
Just one past moment.
Should we rewrite our whole past? No, dream job.
It may have been one moment that was a trickle effect or like a domino effect. And you're
That's
like,
true.
oh yeah, let me go.
Y'all saw the butterfly effect, man. Don't play with it.
Don't
Don't
touch
play
it.
with it.
Don't touch
Don't
it.
play with it. Do you know
Okay,
Doctor
well-
Strange? Do you know the multiverse?
It's a tricky
Okay, so
place. It's a tricky place.
would you rather feel it or know it? A, unstoppable confidence, or B, a vision of your exact future? What would you prefer? A, unstoppable confidence, or B, a vision of your exact future? Oh yeah, I definitely want that A in my life.
I'll take the
Yeah,
confidence.
Right. I
I'll
don't
take
think
the
Yeah.
confidence. I don't need to know.
I like
like,
the
What if
element of
I already
surprise.
have unstoppable confidence?
I actually believe that for you.
I'll take
Yes.
one.
So
Yeah, I think it's the
Oh,
reason
anything
why
else?
the unknown is an important variable in the future, and I don't want to mess with that. So
I'm with you, Lola. I'm with you.
Right. Okay, so would you rather have the clarity or the opportunity? One perfect idea for A or one open door for B?
B,
I need that B, yeah.
for sure, B.
Open the door for me and
Because-
I'm gonna bring something
Because
fire.
the
I'm
idea
gonna
is
bring a whole
so
lot of
plenty.
fire.
That's how spirit works. We gotta have. There's gonna be multiple ideas all the time. There's never just one. So
because that idea might flop.
you know,
Yeah, no, you go through way more fails to get that one success. But if you're not failing, then you're not trying. So we're gonna keep failing our way forward. Would you manifestation versus surrender? Which one speaks to you more? A, total control of your reality, or B, a wild ride where the universe takes the lead?
oh man,
I mean, isn't life
is-
That's a
already?
hard one, wait.
I'm gonna
No, life is
answer the
already
way I
good.
know I should answer. That's not what I want to say, but that's what I should.
No, I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
Surrendering is hard, but that's what I know I need to do.
Right. I am going to say like,
Toxic and
yeah.
say A. Because life is
I wanna-
already a wild adventure that the
That's what I
universe
was
is taking.
thinking. Right.
That this whole topic was about manifesting. Like
But
we
the
all
trick is,
secretly
the
want.
trick is, you already are in total control. That's a whole nother conversation.
I mean, we can also have a conversation about A, because if you could control everything, then it would actually get boring, and then you'd be bored, and you'd be like, man, I wish I could have some surprises.
No, it's not like that. Like, so you could walk out and you can't control other people's reality. So think about it. You get in the car and you still have to be aware because you are around other people who are driving. So you can only control yours. You don't know what Lola and me finna be doing.
Okay, I said A anyway. I keep it. Let's play.
This will be on some other stuff.
That
Okay,
was,
guys, that was the last question for that.
So that was that was great. That was great. We did have. Are we still trucking along? Are we going along with the last question?
We do have one last question. If you ladies
You
are
Want
down.
to stick around? Welcome to Theory Thursday. Every Thursday at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come together in the safe space, think differently, dive deep, and answer questions in a fun and curious way. We've been talking about manifestation. We had 5 questions that we went through, and we just finalized a game of this or that. Just kind of telling what our preferences is on some crazy examples to compare. We have one last question. And the last question that kind of closes out is to think about is, do you think manifestation is spiritual, psychological, or both? Spiritual, psychological, or both? Anybody? We'll just kind of freestyle with this last one. Anybody want to go first and answer?
I think it's both, because going back to what Rose said as like the definition, also I'm a hypnotherapist, so I work with the subconscious mind. So I think like psychologically matters, like you believe in it. And I also think the spirituality matters. And regardless of what your spirituality is, like my universal definition of spirituality is anything larger than yourself. So it's both.
I like that. I like
A
that.
and B. So C.
I agree. I believe it's both. I feel like it's spiritual because we are souls. We're a soul having a human experience, and then I feel like the psychological part is, like she said, like our beliefs. So I feel like both of them ties a part into it, but I will more, even though it's both, I will more so lean into the spiritual part of it.
Okay. I think the same. It's definitely both. I think I believe in duality and I believe in balance. So even when we were talking about the methods, it kind of goes back to, I feel like just almost like putting different ingredients in the pot is what's going to give you the result that you're looking for. That's my opinion.
Yes, I agree. Both for me. I think it's not just about, how we're feeling and what we're thinking. I also think it's like a beautiful concoction of being in alignment and having your mind straight, if that makes any sense. Because once we're out of alignment, then no matter how spiritual you are, it won't work. Let's take a screenshot.
Before we leave, I didn't want to interrupt.
Cuban girl,
Let's do it.
I think you're the last one to answer. Spiritual, psychological, or both?
Oh, for me, it's both, for sure. I'm with all of you girls. Like, I definitely spiritual, because you have to believe in it, right? But then it's also psychological, because that's why people say you got to be Delulu. You have to believe things and psychologically brainwash your brain sometimes. So I definitely think it's both.
Absolutely. Lulu is a Lulu. All right. Because it's only crazy. Right. It's only crazy because it hasn't happened yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That part. Thank you all for tuning into Theory Thursday tonight. Manifestation isn't just about attracting what you want. It's about becoming who you need to be to receive it. It takes clarity, energy, and aligned action. And sometimes it means meeting the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Next week, we're taking it even deeper with shadow work. The side of manifestation no one really talks about. We'll explore how our hidden fears, patterns, and self-doubt might be blocking our blessings. So get ready to turn the light inward, because our shadow has something to say. Thank you guys for being here. I am going to be getting out of here within the next 20 minutes, but we can vibe and, just kind of discuss more if we'd like to. I will go check on my kids and I'll be right back.
I have to run. I have to go.
Oh,
but I just want to say thank you so much for having me.
Let's get it. Yeah, we can get it.
Let's do screenshot. Wait, who's taking it? Because if I do it, I end the stream.
Anybody taking it?
I'm doing it. Ready, post.
I told you, Lola tried to take it.
I'm taking so many.
I already know what happened.
I took some too.
I'm pretty sure we all got it. I hope you guys got it. Did someone get at least one or two? Yeah, Bam, I have you fave. Did someone get at least one or two with Lola too?
I'm not, I think I did. I'll send them to Mia on Instagram, but I think I did.
Okay, yeah, you could put it in the group chat.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for having me so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate all of you that came through, not just our guests, but everyone who was so active in the comments. Shout out to Kate, shout out to Moji J, shout out to Fat Moves, shout out to King Diablo, that Cuban girl, Mia, Lola, Yana. Ah! I had to scream. Bam!